So I'm seeing now more than ever a lot of people seeing for their own eyes what's going on right now and just going, that's not real. That's not happening. And I'd like to say that it's only Americans, but it's not. It's also people overseas. Um, Thankfully, the people in other countries seem to be a little bit less taken by this. It's just more of a I can't believe that this great country that's supposed to be like the best place on earth is falling victim to things that we've known for a long time are evil and bad. And they're falling victim to it right now. We thought they were this great country who had it all figured out, and they don't. Um, and they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. They're also laughing with us, and they're outraged for us. And they're outraged for themselves because, we supposedly have all this power and all this influence, and we also show that we're willing to meddle in a lot of stuff, so they don't know what this means for them either. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying for anyone with a brain, no matter what you believed when you voted. You should be scared now. Now, I'm not saying that you should be doomsday prepping. And I'm not saying, that you should be living in anxiety in every moment of your life because that is not going to be productive. I'm just saying these things will affect you. They will. And they probably already do. And, you know, feel sorry later. But take action now. Seriously. Feel sorry later. Take action now. Something that is interesting and concerning. Um, I was trying to find some local protests, activist groups, meetings, anything regarding anything of recent events. And you can't find shit on Facebook right now because obvious reasons. But I was using some other apps I had lots of experience using, and they have sections specifically for activism and protesting, and they're not showing anything. 9 times out of 10, it just shows you an error message, and they won't let you create any events for activism or protesting. So like, what are we supposed to do? This is the easiest way to move people is to get information out very quickly to anyone who's looking. And if you were to ask these websites, they'd probably give you some BS like, oh, we're trying to keep people safe, because if you post publicly that you're going to protest in this area, then some unsavory people might also show up. And to that I say, if you were to meet in secret and then go out in public and protest, then the people that you don't want to show up would catch wind and show up anyway. You can't hide when you're in public. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is making it more difficult for us to organize, and that is a bad thing. It is our right in this country to be able to peaceably assemble. It is our right to make our opinions known. It's literally the First Amendment that everyone touts right before the Second Amendment. Everyone touts that we have all of these freedoms of speech, of religion, of assembly, and yet they are being taken away piece by piece in front of our eyes and spat on by the people that you voted for because supposedly they uphold our values, but they don't uphold our values. And you know how I know they don't uphold our values? They're not allowing you to be free. Right now, the only reason why anyone doesn't feel like they are being oppressed in this moment It's because they are okay with oppressing you, and they think that they will never be in the situation where they're the ones that get oppressed. They don't believe that they're going to lose any rights because they think that it's going to stop at you. They think that it's going to stop at people that they don't agree with. So they don't think that it's going to affect them in any way, and they're wrong. They're wrong. If they're taking away rights for LGBT, if they're taking away rights for people of color, they're taking away rights for immigrants, they're taking away rights for women, they are taking away your rights too. Because you know people who are women, who are queer, who are not white. You know people that you like, that you love, that you need in your life who are being affected by this in ways that will not just make their lives more difficult, but might end up killing them. You know, rules and regulations being pulled and new rules and regulations being upheld that are going to gut healthcare systems and make healthcare illegal and make it more difficult to get food and make it more difficult to get work. I mean, you really don't think that it's going to affect you? This it doesn't make sense. But I digress. I can't try to get into the mind of someone that it's very difficult to empathize with someone who lacks empathy. That's the one place that I just can't empathize. But how do you empathize with someone who doesn't feel, who doesn't care? It's basically impossible. And this is what they want. They want some of you or all of you not to care about each other. And then they want the rest of us to be afraid of the people that don't care about each other. And this keeps us divided, and this keeps us in check because we're going to be, going back and forth with each other, trying to make each other's lives living hells. And they'll be able to do whatever they want because we're not focused on them. We're focused on how our neighbors are living. We're focused on how we're going to hurt that neighbor for a living. We're focused on how we're going to retaliate against that neighbor for doing what they did to our other neighbor or to us. It's all by design. It's all by design. And it's not like we don't see it. It's quite obvious. It's just that they're taking away our ability to do anything. They're taking away what little control we still had. And with no control, what can we really do? Well, we can do something. Even if we can't organize protests on social media, we can vote with our money, what little we have, and we can vote with our actual votes if and when there's ever another election, and we can continue to build and grow communities. Go out and volunteer. You can still find volunteer opportunities on social media and meet your neighbors, and maybe, just maybe, they'll actually be compassionate for you and you'll be compassionate for them. But also try to be intentional with your time. Don't consume media that doesn't serve you. Don't use social media apps that are trying to turn people against each other or feeding off of your fear. Don't buy products or go to shows or anything from people that support your oppression. Basically, try to live your normal lives, keep an eye on everything, but allow yourself time to step back and take a deep breath and organize yourself. Don't allow this to consume every minute of your life, and you don't have to respond to every little thing immediately. Just basically don't obey in advance. Don't obey in advance, okay?